Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, the 13th of December. Want to talk about a few things here, but really, I want to talk about the construction of a new world order, the beginning of a new age, hopefully an enlightened one. And enlightenment is the true knowledge of the Creator. A knowledge of the Creator, not all. You can't know all. You're fry. And I really want to show what I can see going on here at the moment. Because if you look at history, it has happened many, many times. And I want to, in the end, talk about the Sumerian king lists, about these supposed beings that lived for thousands of years. They didn't. They weren't beings. The kings in the king's list weren't beings. I want to show you this here. Well, to my mind, they weren't. I'm trying to bring a different explanation, a different possibility, a different angle of maybe how to look at that. Okay. So a few things I want to talk about. I really want to start with matter just very quickly. Yeah, the fact that we are in matter. And we are beautiful beings of light and energy. Right, okay, we are that. Yeah? And I've been thinking about matter so often. And to me, it is consciousness that creates. Consciousness is the creator of all. And I think matter is its servant. Matter will form itself according to consciousness. Matter cannot create itself, but it will form itself around consciousness to create an image. And that what consciousness is looking at is itself. Matter creates a mirror by which you can see yourself. Because at the moment we have this idea of we are all there ever was and ever will be. We are beings of infinity. We are the knowers of all. We know all. And for some reason we incarnate here and we get clot in matter and we turn into complete morons. And apparently that's the fault of the matter. That is imprisoning you. Again, there is knowledge of the Creator. And I think the Hermetic principles were they have seen something that was truth in the Creator. And one of the truths was the first truth is as above, so below. Yeah? As I said, you come here and matter is telling you your truth. Yeah? You may have come here thinking you were all there ever was and ever will be. You come here, you find out you're a complete moron. And, if you blame matter, then you're not only a complete moron, you're a moron in denial of what it is you actually are. And if you are in denial of yourself, then you will not improve. You will not create a change in yourself. You will not see your own shortcomings because you're thinking that's the fault of matter and you're not looking at yourself. But this world is the world that shows you your truth, and it gives you a chance of change, rebirth. Change within yourself and rebirth into a new, hopefully improved consciousness. But if you start from I'm all that ever was and ever will be anyway, you're not going anywhere. So that's the first thing. And then I heard on the Inspired channel again, I mean the New Agers, I show you what their function, they have a function in this world, and I'll show you later on what it is. I heard on the Inspired channel, we are trying to find the real truth, yeah? The real underlying reality. And if something can change, it cannot be real. Again, then you, and we're finding the Creator. Okay, you have not understood the first thing about the Creator. That He is all possibilities. Yeah? And we are revealing truth that is contained with Him, within Him. To reveal a new truth means change. To go from an old truth to a new truth is change. And continuous change is continuous knowledge of the Creator. That is His reality. Life is change, supposed to be change. Existence is change. Increased knowledge of the Creator is continuous change. Then to say, the real Creator is unchanging truth, then you have not understood what He is. He is all. He's all possibilities. You cannot reveal Him all at once. As I said, you fry. But you can reveal pieces. Gain no knowledge. Expand yourself in the knowledge of Him. But I said the New Age has to fulfill a purpose in all of this. They absolutely do. So yeah, continuous change is the knowledge of the Creator. But the Creator Himself contains laws. Yeah, it is not a free-for-all. Because it has created all, and all needs to be somehow held together. Yeah? The planets are not going around the cosmos like balls in a ping pong machine. In a pinball machine, sorry. So that there are laws. Otherwise the whole thing would be chaos. And again, it is the knowledge of His laws that will lead to a good outcome. That is what we are discovering. We are discovering the Creator. And new knowledge will mean change. And that is real. That is the reality of Him. Change is real. Remaining non-changing means you have stopped understanding or seeking or knowing. Right. Okay, I wanted to talk about the construction of a new world order and the Sumerian king list. Let's go there. And this idea again, material. Understanding something from a material point of view, we need to go into the spiritual. We need to go into consciousness. We need to go into an understanding of that which creates the material. The material is only the outcome. Consciousness creates it. Either you are a creator of what is happening here, or you are one of the followers. that gives their energy to whatever it is you're being told by the leader. So you are not actually a creator yourself. Right, this idea from the material that they were beings that lived like for thousands and thousands of years. I have a little while ago, during the time, made a video, and I'll leave the link for that. You should look at that. And she was talking about somebody who studied the Sumerian texts, a guy called Samuel Noah Kramer. And again, in Doreen's video, there are links to other videos about Samuel Noah Kramer. Now, the one thing he has discovered was that in the Sumerian clay tablets, there were reoccurring phrases. Yeah? Phrases that were used in temple services, but you would find the same phrases on builders' bills. You would find them everywhere. And those are the phrases, the word, with which they created a construct. That was the program. Those little phrases are the program. And they were everywhere. From the temple down to the lowest. Throughout all of their creation. Their creation. And it created a society, it created a world. Their world. Not the whole world, but the world that they were in, and that is what they knew. That was their world. Now, and most importantly, Samuel Noah Kramer said, it does not matter who was in power, which king, physical king, ruled at the time. The construct behind it never changed. And that is exactly what we are experiencing at the moment. We are still in the Sumerian way of doing things. There's a construct behind our politicians, our people in power, and we are experiencing the same thing. It doesn't matter who is in power. Things never change because there's something higher behind them that they all serve and they're all doing according to. And again, I would not look for beings. I would look for thought. I would look for intention, desire, knowledge that they have that will serve them, and what the overall construct should actually be in the end. Look on the spiritual, and then you will see it in the people, because they are the outcome. Spiritual first, because it is what creates. Do not look for people. So then in the Sumerian king lists, I would propose that the names of the kings were actually not the names of beings, but of a thought construct. To the lower understanding of the people, they may have worshipped them as gods. And then again, in the way of the pharaohs, again there's a thought construct that is God, that is all, although it is not all, it's just one possibility, but it will be presented as all there ever was and ever will be. It is not, it's just one possibility. So, and then they had the pharaohs, the kings, as the manifestation, as the physical representation of that God. And then in the end they worship the pharaohs themselves as God. Again, then they really didn't understand anymore the next step. So then if there was something that ruled for 1,000 years, thousands of years, I would say that was, as I said, a thought construct. Something that would create order, something that would create a world. Their world. And it doesn't matter which physical king. So it's not something physical that lived for thousands of years. There could have been many, many, many kings in that period that were all the representation of the same thought and ruled according to the same thought, were again the servants to the construct. I think that's what we're looking at. So what's happening at the moment is the change, maybe the change into a new construct. I mean, hell, we need a new construct. Yeah, we need a new world order. The one that is here is horrible. But first of all, the old one has to go, and here is where the New Agers have their place, what it is they are supposed to do. They are the ones that tear down the old one. In any revolution, again, look at the physical, because it is the same concepts are playing themselves out over and over again. In every revolution, it was the lower working class, it was the plebs. It was their task to destroy the old. Even at the beginning of Christianity, it was the plebs, it was the mindless plebs that went and killed everything around them. Because that was their function, to destroy. The teaching of the New Agers will destroy any kind of construct. If you say, we are eternal, there is no definition. There is no defined anything in those words. They are all. And all will lead to insanity, which is where we're going. But that is their function. It is to tear down, to destroy. They are the destroyers. And then in any revolution, the outcome of a revolution, the plebs never became the rulers. Well, they may have taken over for a short time, but the old order always came back into the new construct. They were the rulers, they would remain the rulers. So, this is what's happening at the moment. Yeah? It is a tearing down of the old by the idiots. And then God or the gods or the higher ups will come and save you. And they already got the new construct. Yeah, that we're all going to be sheep herded into. A new age. The name, I think the name is already given, isn't it? The Aquarian Age. We already got the title. We only have to go in there. It's already built somewhere. Again, the knowledge on which it is built, is that just human knowledge, or is that in cahoots with otherworldly beings that are constructing this new thought? Quite possibly others involved. But unless we wake up and know what it is we're doing, we're going to be slaves. We're going to be worshipping again. Yeah? Believing on some higher power that is doing it all, whereas we are just following orders, and our energy is upholding the next prison that they've will build. If we're upholding this prison, and we will uphold the next prison. Now, last thing I want to talk about, and that is, do we need a construct? Yes, I would say we do. As I say, we cannot live in all possibilities constantly. Yeah, I'm sorry, it needs to be order. I'm not an anarchist and I don't believe in it. There needs to be order. Question is, who or what does that order serve? Does it serve all that have their being in this world? or does it serve the few? And that is really it. Who are the beneficiaries of the order? And I would say as before, as now, so it will be next. The next order might look a bit different, but in the end it will benefit the few. That has never changed. It has not changed for thousands of years. So unless we know we are doing and we are actually getting involved in building a new order, not just tearing down this one. I mean, we're destroying ourselves. We're destroying this world, bad as it is, but we are destroying it. That is our function at the moment, to be for the plebs, to be the destroyers. But we're not getting involved in the construction of a new order. I don't hear that. Yeah? I don't hear that anywhere. What that new construct should actually be. And only if we think about that are we actually getting involved in the building. At the moment it seems most are only involved in the destruction. But to understand what this all means, the Word of God, yeah, is a construct in which you will then have your being. And it's always been like that for a long time. As I said, there is an overriding law of the Creator. And I really think by the constructs we build, we know, or we experience, again, in the material it is showing us our truth. We know how close we are to the truth of the Creator or how far removed we are from it. If the construct that is utterly destructive to life, to everything around it, that construct is removed from the will of the Creator. If a construct is beneficial to all that have their being, if it leads to enlightenment, to an expansion of consciousness, to a higher consciousness for all, and I mean we're all starting from a different starting point, so it's not all the same, but everybody is going higher. If a construct will facilitate that, then it is closer to the will of the Creator. It is a greater reflection, not only of our own desire, but of the desire of the Creator Himself. So what we're in at the moment is complete ignorance and darkness. But I believe the ignorance and darkness is allowed to be there in order to tear down the old thing. And who is building the new one? Are we actually getting involved in the building of a new age? Are we using knowledge to create a new construct? We've been told we shouldn't because we are all. And any construct is just restricting, so we must tear it all down. And that's what we do. A construct is needed. You need to live in some sort of order. Will you be a co-creator of that order? Or will you be a slave in the next one? Anyway, here, that's what I wanted to talk about today. As I said, look at this thing of Samuel Kramer. I leave the link to Dorinda Town's video. I really think those were the kingless. They didn't live for thousands of years. But there was a thought construct ruling over them. And some constructs lasted for thousands of years before there was a change. for good or for bad. You know, change can go either way. We can go up or we can go down. And are we involved in its construction? Anyway, here I leave it at that for today, and I talk to you again soon. Bye.